I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
Hey, everybody. Great to have you with us again on Feels Like Home podcast. This week, hopefully you're going to catch the enthusiasm of our guest this week. You've probably heard our guest this week coming before you saw him. Anthony Allen is the owner and the operator of Antoinette's ice cream truck here in Chillicothe. So if you're like me and you're a parent and you hear those familiar tones going, as I told him, I just know to start taking my wallet out as soon as we hear that. But Anthony's story is amazing. He's not a Native American. He's not a native Chillicothean, and the story of his journey is pretty neat. And ice cream is only part of this guy. And so I think you're going to find that he's infectious and enthusiastic about Chillicothe. And I think it's going to be really a great one for us to listen to together. So Anthony Allen from Antoinette's Ice Cream. With us today, we have Anthony Allen. Anthony, I think Anthony has just an amazingly interesting story about how he got to Chillicothe in the first place. But then what he's done since he's been here has been really amazing. And so I welcome you, Anthony, to the podcast. I'm really excited to have you. Tell everybody, what you do and why, why we're here today, I guess, for lack of a better term. So,
my name is Anthony Allen, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I'm an auto mechanic. And originally from Africa, a small country called Liberia. Liberia was founded by free American slaves. And everything about Liberia is America. We share the same culture. We share the same form of government. And on the other hand, we share the same corruption, but just that our corruption is on the open. But I love it here. I've been in the U.S. since 1999. I went from Liberia because, as some of you know, Liberia, we had a civil war in the 90s, and which destroyed the country. And some of us were fortunate enough to travel out of the country to find opportunities somewhere else. I was fortunate enough to travel to Europe. I was in Italy. And after a few years in Italy, I decided to come here to see how life was like here. I live in New Jersey. I was like an hour away from New York, and I lived over there for 6 years. And I visited Columbus, Ohio. For the first time, I came and visited my aunt. And what really encouraged me, what really motivated me to move to Ohio was when I came and visited Big Bear, the store. Mm-hmm. And there were police officers in the stores. I'm like, wow, this has to be real safe, because places in New York and New Jersey, places, sometimes you go in the store, you take the exact change with you. Because if you walk in the store and open your wallet, the next person behind you watch you to see what you have in your wallet to go outside and wait for you. So when I seen police officers in Big Bear and other places, I was like, this is where I want to live. I moved to Columbus, Ohio. I lived in Columbus for 5 years. And then I decided to move here in Chillicothe. I've lived in Chillicothe for a total of 15 years. And before I moved here, I told people, I really want to move to Chillicothe. And man, you could have heard some of the things they said about this place. They said the worst things you can ever think about. Why you want to move to a place that they hate black people? Why you want to move this, that? So my thing was, look, the way you present yourself, that's how people take you. I'm tired of big city life, because I grew up in a big city in Liberia, and then I moved to Rome. I live in New Jersey, near New York. I live in Minneapolis, live in Columbus, all the big cities. I'm tired of big city life. So living here in a small town, because when you live in big cities, you don't see, or people don't see your potential. They don't value you. But if you live in a little community, you get to know your neighbor, you get to know what affects the community, and that way you can, try to do something to help. But in big cities, all for yourself. So this is why I do what I do.
Yeah. And one of the things that you decided to do when you came here, you're an auto mechanic and you bought a van and that became your business.
Yeah.
So tell everybody about, and if folks have probably seen you out in the community with Antoinette's ice cream.
Yeah.
But now you can put the voice with the face. Of course, if you've ever met Anthony at the ice cream, you already know the voice. So
Yeah. Because I work for Key Construction, and I worked for them since I moved to Chillicothe. And then being a mechanic, I had my own shop when I was in New Jersey. When I moved to Columbia, I had my own shop. But it was just so stressful. It was so stressful. When you own your own shop, is almost 23 hours work. And don't make a mistake and let a customer know where you live. I used to have people sitting on my doorstep in the morning, and then all the guys that work with me at the shop, they will leave and go home, and I'm the only one, because a customer bring his or her car and something's wrong with it. You have to make sure the customer is satisfied. Why your guys are going, it's your responsibility to make sure that job is done. So when I moved here, and I used to do on the side job here and there, I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, because I go to work, I work on equipment, and then come back home, people calling me, can you check my car, can you do this? So I said, no, I don't want to do it anymore. So I let me do something that will change, that will cover my time. That time spending to work on car after hours, I can do that or do something else. So I saw this van on Craigslist, and the guy, he was in Newark, Ohio. And I bought a van. It was just a regular cargo van. And I cut the top. I bought an ambulance top and put it on there, because what I usually do when I plan to do something, I build as I go. I just build as I go. So when I bought a van, I was just gonna leave it like that and put the freezer in there and start selling. And then I walk in the van, I couldn't stand up. So I was like, no, this is not gonna work. I can't be on my knees all the time. So luckily, Deer Creek in Circleville, they had an ambulance over there that they were junking. And exactly the same year, the same measurement, I stopped in and talked to them, and they sold it to me. So I cut the top and put a top on there. But I mean, every little thing that you start doing is never easy. You just have to work your way, and you can't give up. When we first started, we started 7 years ago, 4th of July. Everything was set to go, and left to go to the park for the fireworks. My generator went out. So I had to go to Walmart, bought some ice and stuff. I didn't even complete the night because the ice cream were melting. So I went ahead and cut it short. But ever since then, things has been like every year, every season is like better than the last. Every season is better than the last. And every year I try to do something new. Like you guys know from the beginning, a lady at Adina Cancer Center, she used to, go over there and just take care of the garden and stuff. She contacted me and said, hey, can you bring the ice cream truck over here and allow the cancer patient to buy ice cream off the truck? I told her, no, I can't. I don't have the heart to do that, to sell to somebody who is on chemo. I can't do that. But what I'm going to do here, I'm not saying no, that I'm not bringing a truck, but I'm saying no to selling to them. So I said, let me reach to people I know in the community. Let me reach to sponsors and see if they will sponsor the ice cream truck and being taken to the cancer center. So I spoke with Heavy Strange. I spoke with John at Napa. I spoke with my employer, and sure enough, they were waiting to chip in. And ice cream were paid for. Many days I went to Walmart to, just to buy stuff. When I drove the ice cream truck, I came out. one day somebody left $100 in an envelope on the windshield. Okay.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
So, and that's how, I always do a thing. And we went to the cancer center. We did 3 years in a row, and we expanded it to the emergency department. We served the guys at the emergency department. And then every year we try to do something new. Like a few years ago, we did a movie in the park. But the movie in the park, if you want to show a movie, everything, even your television in your house, there's copyright law that you can only display image on your television that has been broadcast to your family. So your friends come over, they're not allowed, but these laws are not followed. But with showing movie, regardless you buy the title, you buy the movie from Walmart or wheresoever, it's not yours. It's yours for private use. So I followed all these rules. I did my research, and I paid for the titles. Each title was $275 a title for one night. So all I wanted was for somebody to come in with me. I was willing to pay for the umbrella title, which you can pay for, I think it's around $500 for a whole year. But you have to be non-for-profit. You got to be either, some of these groups. But which I did not qualify for, but I was trying to reach out to people, and nobody would come in with me. So we showed movie, I think, about 4 or 5 times in the park, and I just couldn't afford, paying for titles every time we show movies. So we canceled that. But it's not 100% cancer, but it stay open. Anybody out there wants to come in, because what I do for the community. It's not for me, because I live here. I go around. I see things that I understand that need changes, but everybody waiting for somebody to make a move. But if we all sit down and wait for somebody to make a move, it's not gonna happen. So this is why sometimes I want to do something different in the community. Regardless if somebody is already doing it, I'm not saying, hey, this person is doing it wrong. When I started, there were other ice cream trucks in town, and many days, even my daughter used to, feel bad because we go down the same street, and this truck will come, and all the kids will be standing at my truck when they see the other truck to go running by. My daughter will feel bad. I'm like, no, it's their truck, it's their customer. We are new, so we have to build that clientele. We have to make sure we do our part to have the kids coming to us. So I did not run anybody out of town. I did not do anything, but the way people saw me doing things, the way I ran my business, that's how everything went. Because before the shutdown, we went as far as Gallipolis and Portsmouth. So we left here Saturday afternoon, because my thing was, hey, the town is big enough for everybody. The content, the state is big. So if they want to stay in town, they can stay in town. I'll go out of town. That's how I used to do. Saturday morning, go through the park, go east end for a little bit, head out south, go Londonderry, Richmonddale, MacArthur, and then branch off to Wellston, Jackson. At the end of the night, I'm in Gallipolis. And then Saturday, we leave here, go in the park. Because going through the park, your Tenji Park is every day. Yeah. So that's our first stop. So we leave home, go through the park. And then on Sunday, we go through Masseyville, back Wilson Run Road, Waverly. At the end of the night, we're in Portsmouth. Okay, and all these things, because every time I went through some of these little villages, these little towns and stuff, I heard the same thing. Older people would stop me and just tell me the same story, how when they were little, they used to save money for ice cream truck. Yep, and it really, really encouraged me to do more, because it was the same story. Because ice cream truck is an American tradition. Because anybody can walk in Walmart or the gas station and buy almost anything I have for my truck. All right, but the difference there is buying from the ice cream truck. They can walk to the ice cream truck just to have that ice cream truck experience. So this is why I rather do it, just to keep up the American dream. Because regardless of whatsoever happens, I try my best to make sure, because these kids and family, they have become like friends of mine. Yeah, right. They have my phone number. They all these kids have.
You didn't learn that lesson from the last time, right?
Yeah, they have my phone number.
I guess they don't really need ice cream,
right.
like the way they need repairs for your car.
That's exactly
right?
right.
Yeah, I mean, because like I tell them at that time, because like sometimes I go down the street when people don't hear me or they're not fast enough to come out, and I tell them, hey, just message me on Facebook or call me. I'll come right back. Many days people call me and say, oh, my son is having a birthday party or my daughter having a birthday party. We just heard about you. You think you can come at this hour? I said, no problem. We'll show up and at least put a smile on that child's face.
Yeah.
That this is what it's about. It's not about just, running around making noise and collecting money. No, because whatever I make from the ice cream truck, it pays some of my bills, and most of it I gave back to the community. I'm not standing down around the street corner yelling what I'm doing or whatsoever, but
Sure.
I'm doing my part to make sure that this community, is what we want it to be,
Yeah. And it seems to me like obviously you started the ice cream truck, obviously, to be a source of income.
Yeah.
But really, as a newcomer to town, you were also looking like, how do I learn the most about this community? So what did you find as you started selling ice cream and you were meeting all these different people and getting input from them?
Well, what I noticed is that everybody in this community, regardless of where we live or where they live, we all have one thing in common. This community, everybody in this community is very, very welcoming. But many days, I walk down the street, I drive down the street, I go places. I have no fears because I know that the people here are good, and nobody's going to come by and say, oh, give me what you have or whatsoever. I'm not praying for that, but I've never experienced anything like that because everybody in this town, they are very welcoming regardless of whatever problem we have. Like a few months ago, I had a conversation with some guy, and because most of the time people ask me the same question, why are you doing this? Why do you do this? I had a truck. It was my work truck. I took the tailgate off and took it to Gary at Chillicothe Science Screen, and on the tailgate it had. Follow me to beautiful Chillicothe, Ohio, home of Antoinette's ice cream. And people ask me, what's beautiful about Chillicothe? I said, Chillicothe does not have skyscrapers, does not have anything all over Bridge Street traffic. It's good.
Yeah.
The beauty of Chillicothe is the people, the people you meet, the people you interact with. Every day I get in an ice cream truck, I mean, every day is something new. Every day is something new. Looking in my view mirror, seeing kids chasing the truck, I would stop and back up. I seen some kids for the first time, seeing me for the first time. The joy, the happiness. Like yesterday, I went down. There's a street over here off University behind the Calvary Church. I've lived here 15 years. That particular block of neighborhood, I didn't even know it existed. All right. 3 weeks ago, a lady messaged me, we have a bunch of kids down this street. Why can you come down here? It's because they hear me all the time. I go and they hear me, and I never knew that area was back there. And I went by there, sure enough. And then yesterday, I went by, and this lady, an older lady, and she came out, she said, I got goosebumps on my body from just hearing the ice cream truck and the same story of the ice cream truck. And this is why, man, I done, even if I'm tired, I because at the back of my mind, if I don't go to sell today, some of these kids don't see me all week. Like some of the places I go there once a week. In town here, I do every other day. I alternate between east and west side of town. But places like Kingston and other places that only see me once a week. So when it is time for these kids to buy the ice cream, if I don't show up, I'm in trouble. Because the next week I show, why didn't you come? And it's a long conversation between them and myself. And this is why I try my best. Even there's other things I've done that we will probably talk about here. After the first season of the ice cream truck, I built a bus. I went online. I purchased a bus from Washington, D.C., 40-foot bus, 40-foot long and 8-foot wide. Some of these transit buses, like the Kodak buses in Columbus. So what I did was I took the seats out of the bus. I converted the bus into a restaurant. I built this bus with this community in mind. Okay, and the bus has been sitting down and finished. It's sitting at a storage facility over on Western Avenue, but I've gotten into the ice cream truck and connected to all the kids. I can't just let go, because if I let go of the ice cream truck, what's gonna be? Who's gonna take over? Because even if I hire somebody to run the truck, they won't go to all the neighborhood. They won't make all the stops, because I know most of my kids. I know where they live, and I know most of the neighborhoods. Because some neighborhood you go to someday, they won't be home. There'll be a baseball practice, and you can't say, "Oh, I'm not coming back to this neighborhood." But yeah, that's what I like. What if I can't just pack up and jump on another adventure?
Yeah.
And then with the bus, it's a restaurant. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to start it," and then 2 months later, it's going to be good. No, it's going to be at least 6 months to a year, at least, because you're going to be trying and errors. You're going to try this food and then try the next food. I mean, if you have the time, it's the same as Antoinette's ice cream, but it's Antoinette's Resta Bus. It's Antoinette's Resta Bus. You can go on there and look at their pictures and stuff like that, because I've been thinking on selling the bus. But each time I go to the bus, I just stand by, and then just memory just come by, because as I was building the bus, I did just like the ice cream truck. I built as I went, and the bus, is built. It's ready for service, But I don't want to sell the bus, because I built it for this community. I was trying to see if somebody can come in, even lease the bus with the option of buy, and make sure it stays in this community. Because if I say, let me list this bus maybe in New York or Georgia, it's gone. But my point is, I built it for this community, and it has not had the chance to be introduced to the community, because I'm busy with the ice cream truck. I can't say, "Hey, let me put the ice cream truck aside. Let me run the bus and the ice cream truck." No, I just be asking for more trouble.
Yeah.
I think what I recognize that you recognized early on is the connection that people have with the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
I remember my youth. I grew up in Kingston, and it wasn't very often during the summer when the ice cream truck would make it there. Yeah. But when it did, and you heard the music, kids come running. I mean, and the block that I grew up on had a lot of kids. Yeah. And so they would pull around the corner, and we'd all bail out into the street. And it's such a great memory.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're not from America, but you talk about the reason why you do it is because this is an American tradition.
Yep.
And I think that's fantastic that you recognize that, and it's special for people. Yep. And you get to build relationships and then hear these great stories about people, coming out and buying ice cream and say, "I remember this when I was a kid." Yep. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere where when you moved to the U.S., you said you had seen movies and things like that portrayed United States, and that you felt like it was a place that was attractive to you. Have you found the things that you saw in those movies that first attracted you? Did you find something different?
Well, yeah, actually, growing up in Liberia, we look up to America because we had American textbook. Liberia's flag is like a U.S. flag, but just one star and 11 straps. And my name is Anthony Allen. I'm African, and that should tell you a story. So everything, regardless of what I see on TV, because if you haven't been somewhere before and somebody says something about that place, the first image that comes in your mind is what you see in a book or on TV. Okay, so when I first came here, I wasn't 100%. I wasn't 100% convinced, because one of my cousins used to say, "Hey, they fool us. They say the birds of America. We're not America." No, but one of the things that really got me to know that I'm really America is the way, because sometimes in Africa, people tells you, "Hey, when you go to America, you don't even look at somebody in the next car. You don't do this. You don't talk to people with full gun and this and that." And it was totally different, You know, it was totally different. You meet people in the street, you talk to them, and the first thing that people, because when I came here, I had a really deep accent. You know, first thing, are you from Jamaica? No, I'm from Africa. You know, that's the first thing everybody asked me. You know, but as time went by, I came to understand, you know, that what we see on TV is totally different from what, you know, in reality. Just like here, you know, people, when you talk about Africa, first thing that comes to most people's mind is the animals and stuff like that. And a lot of people are not educated about America, and a lot of people are not educated about Africa.
Right.
You know, Africa is a very big place. Like people ask me, hey, did you have this? Did you have that animal, this and that? I said, look, in Africa, we are taught to keep our distance and our boundaries. We are not taught something twice. When you're told snake kills, you stay away from snakes. If you're told there's lion over there, you stay away from there. So that's how we are brought out. You're not told something twice. You know, over here, they will sit you down, educate you, and even you make a mistake, you go back in the classroom, they're going to educate you on the same mistake you made. With Africa is different. You know, so like finding my way through, navigating my way through here was a little bit difficult because, difficult, it was not as difficult as, you know, people might think. But, you know, sometimes if you go to do something, you got to think twice, you know, think twice before getting into it. Like, for example, people don't tell you, when you come here, they don't tell you about your credit. You know, they don't tell you anything about credit, and you meet people here that will help you ruin your fresh credits.
Yeah.
Right.
And then by the time you come around, it's already late. You have to restart everything and try to rebuild your credit. So people don't tell you that about your credit when you come here. You know. So yeah, I found a lot of things here that, you know, that were on TV and movies. Some were similar and some were totally, you know,
Totally different. Yeah.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I would note, to go back to the ice cream, you not only take care of the kids and the adults that want a little bit of nostalgia,
Yeah.
but you even have stuff for our furry friends as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
You're doing the dog treats.
Oh yeah. The dog trees is a hit. And then the only mistake I made was last week, because a lot of people didn't know about it since the beginning. Because like I said, every year we try to do something new, you know, do something, you know. So I introduced the dog treat, and just very few people knew about it. Because every time I go to a stop, when I see a farmer that coming out and see a dog, the first question I ask them is, how many dogs do you have? And when they tell me 5 or 6 dogs, I gave them that amount of dog treat. And we gave them away for free. So last week I posted on our page about the dog treat, because I usually have bought them from Walmart, and every Saturday or Sunday I go in there. Every day we carry at least 10 or 12 boxes with us.
Wow.
And there's 4 in a box. So by the end of the day, all of those ice creams are gone. All the dog treats are gone. So since I posted on our page, now I got to try hard to find it, because I go to Walmart, they're not there anymore. People are buying them.
And that's not something you can get from Amazon and have them send, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And,
That's not the right way to do it.
No,
So.
but I mean, there's just this Walmart, but other Walmarts I usually find it at Circleville Walmart, and the other Walmart on High Street, and sometimes I go to Waverly. Because I know here now everybody running after that particular one, because what I do is just, you know, giving everybody the opportunity, every dog the opportunity to have a taste of the ice cream. You know, if somebody is buying a box or 2 for their dog, it's no problem. You know, that at least that dog is having fun too. You know, but just taking away a little bit from that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
funny.
What do you take pride the most in about Chillicothe?
It's the people. To be honest with you, it's the people, and like I said, you know, like I've always told people, you know, Chillicothe is not a bad place. Chillicothe is a beautiful place. It's a nice place to live. You know, we all have our problems. All the big cities and countries everywhere in the world, we have our problems. But the little problem we have here, we can't just take that problem and say, oh, the place is bad, because many days I hear people talk down Chillicothe. Like a few months ago, there was a survey or something that came out on Facebook, and people took it and ran with it. Which place Chillicothe among the 5 worst places in Ohio to live? I'm like, Chillicothe don't even come close. It don't even come close. Yeah. And then another argument I had, not a real argument, but just a discussion I have with this guy, and he was like, they're basing that on per capita. I said, well, let's say Columbus had 200 homicide in a year, and we had 10. So because of capita, you're going to put Chillicothe among the worst. Right. Well, there's 200 people that lost their life compared to 10. Mm-hmm. So regardless of 20 million people living in Columbus or wherever the survey is, and regardless of 20,000 people, we are talking about 200 people versus 10 people. We're not talking about per capita. So when you throw per capita in that stuff, then it becomes problem. So why not turn that around and do per capita when it comes to support for the community?
Right. Yeah. And I always say, we can look at those stats and say that they're bad, right?
Yeah.
But what are we going to do about them? I think that's the more important question.
Yeah.
If somebody tells me that car break-ins are bad in my neighborhood, you better believe I'm going to make sure all my cameras in my house are operational and they're working. Yep. And in all honesty, I'm going to keep my eyes up for my neighbors, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we live fairly close to each other now. Yeah. And, when I'm driving along Pullman or Bowman or any of these other places, I'm looking around just to see if there's anything that's going on. And if I see it, and I don't think it's right, I'm probably going to report it, And I think it's you see something, say something, and I think we could handle a lot of these things, right?
Yeah. And some of the things I've observed since being here, like I said, we have our problems, and everybody in this country have the same problem. We have drugs problem everywhere, okay? But addiction, when we talk about addiction, the first thing that runs to mind is drugs. Everybody, even us sitting here, we are somehow addicted to something. Everybody in this world right now addicted to Facebook and their phone, all right?
That's true.
But there are many more things that we are addicted to, even things like cars. We are addicted to car, but we don't call that addiction. We call it necessity, all right? Because if you say, let me go to Safe and Sack, or let me go to Safe and Sack, you're not going to say, well, just a block over, let me walk over. No, you're going to get in your car and spend maybe 20 minutes getting around just to go to a 2 minutes walk.
Yeah.
So when we talk about addiction, people, the first thing they run to is drugs. All right, yes, drug is addiction, drug is a problem, but how can we help these people? Because these people are our brothers and sisters. These people are somebody's bundle of joy, because once upon a time, they were somebody's bundle of joy. They were somebody's baby, and that bundle of joy was there. But that bundle of joy is not gone, because I see it every day. When I go to sell ice cream, I see a grandparent and a grandchild laughing together, jumping and running for ice cream, and they're very happy. That happiness unlocks that bundle of joy that is in that grandparent. That bundle of joy is still jumping around in that little kid. But the older we get, it gets locked in. The only thing that unlocks that bundle of joy is love. Okay, so these people on these streets, they have that bundle of joy locked within them. But how can we? They don't trust us. They don't trust us because of the way we treat them, because of the way we look down on them. Okay, they have problem. How many days? Because like many days here, I sit down, I'll go down the street, I see people. The common thing we can do as human beings, as society, is to make sure these people are taken care of. Many people say, oh no, you don't have to take care of them. You're just going to encourage a problem. Simple way you can take care of these people, all right? you can say, hey, maybe we should build somewhere with bathroom and something for them to change their clothes. People can donate clothes and stuff like that. Somebody walking the street had nowhere to sleep. Go and take a shower, take your old clothes and dump it and wear new clothes. And that will at least bring some decency to these people. But I go down the street, I see these people sleeping in front of the church and walking back and forth down the streets. When you talk about it, it's, oh, this, that. They brought it on themselves. They did this. But one thing we fail to realize is every one of us is our problem. Because if your neighbor 5 houses down the street, house is on fire, and you think it's not your problem, wait until the fire department and show up. Mm-hmm. Okay, it will become your problem. So I'm not saying that we should go on the street and just grab them and put it in place or whatsoever. There are ways that we can, because sometimes you see somebody, hey, buddy, you hungry? They will tell you yes, let's go to McDonald's. You don't have to sit there and eat with them. If you want to sit and eat with them, you can eat with them. If you don't want to, you pay for that meal and go on. And these are some of the things sometimes I do. I do some of these things, like I go somewhere, Waver and other places to sell. I see somebody, I ask them, you hungry? Yes. Do you want bottled water? You want some ice cream? Or you want a sandwich? I pay for it. But what I don't do is, try to give them physical cash, because if you're hungry, I prefer to pay for the food so that we have something in you to eat, because I don't want to give you the cash and then you use it for something else.
Right.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. And I think it's just called looking out for each other. It's called for, like you said, your brothers and sisters,
It's about being a good neighbor.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. You also have great respect for our police and our firefighters and military. I know that you had a couple Facebook posts just recently of taking treats to the fire station and the police station, but you're also doing the Fallen Heroes basketball tournament, which is going to be Labor Day weekend here in Yaktangi Park. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? Tell us where that idea kind of came about.
Well, since I started, even before I started, because these guys, firefighters, first responders and stuff, they are a different breed of human beings. Because firefighters, police, EMTs, they never take a break. They never. There was a video I posted a long time ago. This guy was at his wedding reception, and he was a firefighter, and somebody was choking, and he forgot it was his wedding. He jumped right into action. And these people, their duty is not 9 to 5. They are 24 hours, because a firefighter can be on a vacation, or EMT can be on a vacation with his or her family, and anything happen that calls for that, even if it's out of that jurisdiction, they're gonna jump into action. So these people give it their all. So since I started, every 4th of July, go to all the fire stations and give treat and stuff to them, and then. Few years ago, there's a veteran lodge in town, I think Egg Lodge. They contacted me and wanted to go to the veteran homes in Ross County, in Chillicothe area, to give away ice creams and stuff. So I never needed a veteran homes here, because my thing is, these guys, they did it all. They are the reason we do what we do. The least I can do to provide ice cream for them. So I told the lodge, I said, hey, if you're going to do veterans, we'll go 50-50. Because they were going to pay for the ice cream. I said, no, we'll go 50-50. You pay 50%, I'll pay 50%. And we did it last summer, and then we did it again this summer. So with the basketball tournament, like I said, every year I want to do something new. Okay, so I sat down, because there are other basketball competition, in Ross County, Postman, other places that do every summer. So I sat down and let's do something different this year. So I started planning in the winter. So I contacted the police department to see if they could get on board with me to try to, have the tournament. But they're being so busy with other stuff. And then we're trying to name the tournament after former officer Larry Cox. All right, but I did not want to go into naming the tournament without getting in touch with the family. Because I didn't want to bring disrespect. I didn't want to disrespect the family. And whatever we're doing is 100% free. We're not collecting any penny from it. It's for the good of the community. So because I did not have the right contact to contact the family, so time dragged on, and then we decided to change the tournament name to Fallen Hero Memorial Tournament. Well, I'm speaking now. Most of my words I'm going to be using is we, us and stuff. But because when I'm saying we, it's us as community. Is the kids that bought ice cream from me, the family that bought ice cream from me, they made all of that possible. So when I'm saying we, I want you to understand, it's not me, it's us, So decided to change the tournament names to Fallen Hero Memorial Tournament, so that way it includes everybody, firefighter, police, military members and stuff. So I did before with the ice cream giving away, because with that event, with the ice cream truck, I named it ice cream from a stranger to a stranger. So this one, I went back to my sponsors, Herbie Strange. He's been one of my biggest sponsors. I went to Napa and connected with them, and they agreed to sponsor teams, because the jersey for each team costs $250. Okay, and then all the sponsor had to do just pay for the jersey, and then the team go and have the jerseys made and already paid for. So I was able to get 16 sponsors for 16 teams. So what we did was we split the 16 teams in half, and we allocated 8 teams to one spot was allocated to the Chillicothe Police Department, the Ross County Sheriff Department, and the Highway Patrol. They all one team. And then the second spot was given to the Chillicothe Fire Department, all fire department in Ross County, and all EMTs in Ross County. And then 2 spots were given to veterans, because friends and family of veterans could form a team. And then another spot was given to friends and family of fallen heroes. And then out of that, eight, we already got 4 gone, and then we have 4 left. So the remaining 4, we sent it over to the Military Recruitment Center over on Bridge Street to form 4 teams among themselves, because I think they have 5 or 6 units in that building. So luckily for us, they were able to get their 4 teams plus 2, And then the other 8 spot we gave to the community teams in the community, on a first come, first served basis. So we had a deadline for people to turn in their registration, a team registration, so they can have their jerseys made, which was last week. And most of the team have already turned in their jersey and their registration package, because we were running against time.
Yeah.
Chillicothe Sound Screen requested 4 weeks to have the jerseys ordered and made. Okay, and we into 3 weeks to game day. Mm-hmm. Okay, so hopefully we can have everybody turn in their registration package by this Friday, so that way we can try to, even those that have not turned in their registration package, if they have not gotten all their teams together, they can just go ahead and make the jerseys, because the jerseys are paid for. We don't want to have a game and some team have jersey and some team don't have jersey. So the jersey is paid for. You can just maybe get large, extra large, and whoever is skinny and get a large jersey, they can, find something to, make it fit them.
Yeah.
So that's what we're aiming for. And the goal of the tournament is to just respect and pay respect to those that pay the ultimate price for us. Because of them is why we have freedom today, and the freedom that we take for granted, the freedom that everybody, pushing around and this and that. These are the people that really made it possible for us. So for them to be gone, and, we have not forgotten them. So this is why, we are trying to get this tournament up and going. It's a community sponsor tournament, and everybody, because as of next week, we're going to start collecting donation from the community. It can be anything. It can be cases of water. It can be cases of juice or whatsoever. Because what we're not doing, we're not collecting physical cash. There's no cash involved. Everybody playing a tournament, they are playing from their heart. Everybody, all the sponsors, because what we did was just to line up sponsorship to sponsor the teams. Every sponsor we spoke to, we told them, hey, we don't want any money from you. We don't want any physical cash from you. We just want you to commit to sponsoring a team. Once you agree to that, when we get the teams, all the teams together, we're going to assign teams to sponsors. And then once the jersey is made, Chillicothe Sign, Screen, and Print will send you an invoice. So that communication, that payment will be between you and Chillicothe Sign and Screen. We don't have anything to do with it. We're not taking any money from anybody. Yeah. So like I told all the sponsors, if anybody comes back here later on, because there are people up there scammer and stuff like that, anybody come back later on and say, oh, we need $25, don't do it. We're not accepting cash from anybody. Even anybody that want to donate water or whatsoever, if you buy the water or whatever, just make sure it's sealed up. Just make sure it's factory sealed and message us. We'll come and pick it up. We're not accepting any cash donations from anybody. Because I don't want this to turn into somebody saying, oh, I gave $100, I gave $5, then people start questioning where did it go, what happened to it. Right. No, we don't want that. Yeah. What we are doing is for the community. It's for the community, to bring the community together to honor our fallen heroes. So those that have already sponsored teams, those that are making donations, those are our community's heroes. So we don't want to disappoint them. We don't want them to say next time, hey, we're not going to do it, because there are many people, when we started, we went to many businesses, and sometimes some of these people don't know me, and some of these people, they want to sit back and see what happens. And those that knew us were more than willing to, someone that did not even finish talking, they're like, I'm on board. Yeah, I'm on board. So this is, as far as we are right now, the only thing that, I'm worried about just a little bit, to make sure that everybody get that registration package in, because 2 weeks ago, because everybody else have that package. They have gotten that package for about a month now. And then 2 weeks ago, I had 3 packages left over. So I went over to Waverly. I went to the Waverly Police Department and gave them one package for the police department, the sheriff department, fire, EMT in Pike County. I did the same with Circleville for Pickaway County, and then went as far as Jackson. So hopefully, I'm going to call them tomorrow. Hopefully they can, if they don't have that team together yet, they can go ahead and just call in and have the jerseys ordered in. Because once we have all the jerseys in, if the team is not put together on game day, you can turn in your package. But we just want to make sure that nobody is left out, because this is the first, and we want to do more. We want to continue to do this, because we have a lot of people that have been supporting us, that have been working behind closed door, like 4 weeks ago, I would say, because every time I took one step, and it was like running into a brick wall for the next step. So I went over and talked to somebody over at Central Point Church, and he told me, talk to Jamal Harris on Main Street. So many people in town, like I always tell my daughter, I don't care how people looked at me. Many days I come from work, I'm dirty. I go to Walmart, I go places, I don't care, because you see, the way I was brought up is that, the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the car you drive, the house you live in does not define who you are, but what comes out of you. Yep. So the clothes we wear does not define whoever you are. Okay, so it's up to you to look down on me because I'm dirty. It's up to you to look up to me because I'm clean. That's fine. But I don't put that full front and center when I talk to people. So I walk in there. I came from work. I was dirty and I had a hard day. I was really muddy. I walk in his shop. I introduced myself. And I said, somebody told me to talk to you. Can you just give me 2 minutes of your time? And he said, fine. He sat down. I told him about the tournament. I explained what all the tournament was about. And while I was talking to him, he picked up his phone and he was texting. And then within less than a minute, his phone rang. And he was already making connections. All right, he was already making connections and connecting me with people. And he has been one of the biggest pusher for this tournament because he's doing his part, but he's not forefront and center, but he's doing his part.
Yeah.
He's doing really great. These are the people in the community that's making this community a better place. Because like people always say, oh, what do you find Chillicothe? Why? Why do you do this? My simple answer to them, why not? Why not? And they're like, why do you find Chillicothe? Why? So, the good I see in Chillicothe are so many. I can name hundreds of good in Chillicothe versus maybe 5 or 10 bad that somebody can sit there and talk about Chillicothe. All right. Parents that come from work every day to go in the park and watch their kids' football, baseball, and softball game. Those are the goods I see in Chillicothe.
Yeah.
People that work at Pioneer Center that take care of these kids, these handicapped kids, because they hire me every summer, maybe twice a summer, to go over to Pioneer Center and some of these other places. These people, those are the good I see in Chillicothe. People that take care of the homeless, people that take care of, and people that are doing good. Those are the good. I don't look down because somebody walking in the street or somebody doing drugs. Well, they are doing drugs because
this is big.
Turn our back on
Verizon
them.
Fiber Internet is ready
Let them get you hooked up and power your Wi-Fi network.
with the speed and reliability that only a 100% fiber network can do.
Verizon is ready to help you do what you do better. With real people, real rates, and a real service.
Connect with them today, and the first month is free, plus no contracts and no data caps. Call 740-772-8331
Or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe
to sign up today.
Okay, we turn our back on them because the system, I'm not from here, all right? The African jail system is a deterrent because when somebody goes to jail, you go to jail for maybe 2 weeks or a month or two. When you come back, you don't want to go back because you have to fight for food. You have to fight for a place to sleep. A little room that this will probably have 150 people standing side by side. You can't even sleep, right? Whereas American jail, you have the luxury. You can go and have your own bed and whatsoever. But that doesn't, stay from the fact that committing a crime is wrong. Okay, all right. But the system now is designed in a way that they've been referring to as revolving door. Okay. All right. How is the revolving door always happening? Why can't we find a way to make the revolving door a one-way door? Okay. Somebody go down to jail because they were hanging with the wrong crowd. They got busted for something. All right. Most of the people go to jail because they are protecting their friends. All right. But once they go to jail, maybe 6 months, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that person sits in that room and reflect on their life. All right. Every day they get up and go to sections, they go to group meeting, and they tell them all the good things that they should do when they get out. All right. You tell this person all these good things. At the end of the day, when they come out of jail, you either give them a bus ticket or you tell them bye-bye. All right. But when somebody goes to jail and come from jail, to me, the most critical part is the first 1 year when they get out of jail, because this person has sat down in jail for this long and they already reflected on their life and they were protecting the wrong people and they don't want anything to do with those people when they come out. All right. But when they walk out of jail, and then you give them no option. Number one, the person already served their time. When they come out, nobody wants to give them place to stay. Nobody wants to rent to them because they're felons. Nobody wants to give them job. And how you expect this person to survive? Okay? Right. At the end of the day, the only open arm they have is the same people that they went to jail for. That's the only open arm they have. Then they go right by the end of the day and then they go back to jail. Oh, it's a revolving door. It's a revolving door. But you cannot pin down somebody and expect change from them because the system is totally broken. Okay, if somebody goes to jail, when they come back, hey, we will make sure you have a place to stay, you get a job to do, so we don't have all these convict or whatever labor on your back. You serve your time. You should be able to make a change of your life, go back to society and make a change. Because this person has served his or her time. When they come out, they want new, they want change. But you're not giving them the opportunity to make that change, to come back new. If you can't support yourself, you can't find food to eat, you can't find a place to stay, that's the least a human being wants. And they can't get it, they end up doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Yeah. And then sometimes people say, oh, these guys, they come out of jail, they don't need any help, they become talks, they become this, they become gangster, they become that. All right. This person is acting tough because they don't want you to turn it in because they don't want to go back to jail. So they're going to do whatever possible not to go back to jail. But at the end of the day, some of them like just give up on life and they will just do anything now to go back to jail because when they come back outside, the freedom they have, you lay down in jail, you watch free TV, you eat 3 times a day, and then you come home, you can't even get a McChicken to eat for a day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's definitely a system that needs work.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you normally run your ice cream truck because you have a day job.
Yeah.
So it's usually in the evenings after you get off work, right?
Yeah,
so,
in the evening after I get off work, and then on Saturday and Sundays. And then I have a friend that used to help me. He still helps me, but he started working too. So most of the events and stuff, he covers the event because people book me during the week. While I'm working, I can't take off. So he does the events and stuff for me. But with the ice cream truck, I run that every day, every evening after work because I go to work and get off work around 5 o'clock. I'm home and then take a little rest, eat and stuff like that, stocked up. And then by 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm out. Every season, some days I'm tired. Some days I pray for rain, because it's not that I don't want to make money, but it's just that some days I'm tired and I don't want to disappoint these kids because running an ice cream truck, it's a commitment. Yeah. It's a commitment because a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these guys don't understand. Like when I went to Columbus at the beginning of the season, and I seen that, because last season, a box of SpongeBob, the box of SpongeBob comes $16 a box. And for the past few years, prices been going up, and not 16, but about 18 a box. It was $16 a box. Okay, so last season it was $16 a box. So I went this season, surprisingly, the other place I used to get my ice cream from, it was $27.
Ooh. So
I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I went to Columbus, my other suppliers, and it was $22. So I did the math. Even when I got that, all the other ice cream truck, their prices were like $5, $6 for SpongeBob. So every now and then I would take my truck to pick up supplies, and when they see my truck, they see my prices, they go crazy. How much money you making? How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? I said, look, man, I'm in a small community. I serve little kids that don't have the money. All right. So I would prefer not to have it than to have it and can't sell. Because right now, SpongeBob on my truck, it's $3. It's been like that for a few years because all the prices went up. Mm-hmm. So I stay at $3 while everybody going above the line. All right. So what I did was some of the other characters, the fish characters and stuff, I removed them and replaced them with other stuff. Okay. So to just because on my truck I got 51 different variety of ice cream. Okay.
That's amazing. I guess I didn't realize that.
So at least somebody, but my best sellers and stuff that like SpongeBob, it's my number one seller. And to our disappointment, 2 weeks ago, Chocolate Taco, which was one of the best seller, they just pulled the plug with no warning, nothing.
Saw that.
And then it's just like, it's done. So we're praying, we're hoping that, somebody can buy the right to it and bring it back on the market, because Chocolate Taco, I don't see, they can't say because of raw material supply, because the taco shell is made of the same material the ice cream cone is made out of.
Yeah.
And in a chocolate taco, you have a vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream. So they can't tell me, anything about supplies. And raw material is right there. So it's disappointing that they pulled a plug on that, but hopefully we'll have something to replace it with, and at least somebody can buy the right to it and continue Chocolate Taco.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned earlier the people that are, out there doing it right. And I think you're one of the people that are out there doing it right. I appreciate everything you do. I'm one of those, obviously you hear the truck before you see the truck, right?
Yeah.
When I hear the truck coming, and I look at my kids just to see if they're going to see it or hear it, right? And then as soon as they know it, I know I'm done, right? Like I might as well just get the wallet out and start walking outside. So thanks for coming on today and talking a little bit about your story. Thanks. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, it's so awesome to see your happiness and your joy in this town and for this community.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always told people, man, this is our community, no matter what it is. This is our home. We don't expect somebody to come from outside to fix it for you. If you see a problem, try to address it. Like, people will sit on Facebook and throw other people comment and just, say anything they want to say. If you have problems in the community, if you cannot help, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody's problem. These people, like I said, it's somebody's bundle of joy, because we feel resentment from them because the way we treat them as society. Just like the guy that was under the bridge, but I think he stayed over the guy with the husky. Everybody in this town talked about him, but it came a certain time, everybody turned on him. So, but how can we address these problems? It's our problem too. It's our problem, because if you sit down and badmouth your town, you're not only doing it to yourself, you're doing it to those little kids, because somebody that wants to invest in Chillicothe, somebody that wants to invest in Chillicothe, and they hear that, Chillicothe is among the top 5 places, the top worst places in Ohio, they don't want to invest here.
Right.
Because you're destroying the future for the little kids. Even with sporting, people want to invest in sporting teams here. When they hear that everybody in Chillicothe on drugs, they don't want to even come here.
Yeah.
And my families come from out of town, and like I said, the people here are very welcoming and they are very nice. My family comes from all the time, most of the time, like from Minnesota and other places. Like this year, I'm hosting the Thanksgiving dinner for my family. They're going to be here several times. They've been here. And when they go out there, people hear them talking, and when they hear the accent, he related to the ice cream truck man and said, and then it will be another 30 minutes of talk. They will just sit there and talk about me, and they will just talk about me, not in a bad way, but, when my family come home, when they come, they're like, man, everybody in the town say a great thing about you, and which I don't want to break. I really love doing what I do, and the only thing I hate is when people, badmouth this town.
Sure.
It gets to me. And we need to stop that. If you cannot do something, if you cannot help to solve the problem in the time, you cannot solve it 100%, but we can do our part. There's, I don't know how many churches in the town, and we can't just open our church doors on Sundays and then close it for 5 days a week. The Bible, we all read the Bible. I'm a Christian, and what Jesus taught is, to take care of each other. So if you see somebody down the line, you got to be able to at least help them out.
Yep.
We can't just sit down and say, it's going to, it's a government problem. It's there. No, it's every one of us problem, because when the town goes bad, your tax money pay for that to clean it up.
Yep.
So yeah, this is some of the reason I do this, and I'm just asking the community to join me in whatever I'm doing and whatever we're doing. Like I said, we're going to start collecting, donation for the tournament. If you have water, if you have drinks, just make sure it's factory sealed. If you can offer other services and stuff, like you want to, pay for a party, a porta john, you can also, rent few of them, because we're going to need at least 10 porta john. I already contacted A to Z Sanitation. They gave me a code. So what we're trying to do here is to divide the code. If somebody wants to say, hey, I can take care of 2 porta john, that way we have, we one step towards our goal.
Yep.
So this is a community event, and we know it's not just me, it's for everybody. I'm not doing it for me. There's nothing whatsoever in it for me. There's no financial benefit in it for me, nothing. Even on that day, the ice cream truck is going to be used for water, because that way we're going to keep the waters and drinks and stuff to make sure they are cool. So, other food trucks, other businesses in town, if they want to join us, they are more than welcome to join us, because we are doing it just to show our respect for those that pay the ultimate price. Their families are here. We want to make sure that they are happy. Even we are I'm working with the guys at the Army Recruitment Center, and we're trying to see if we can honor the veterans. So I'm going to send an email over to the veteran groups in town here, either tonight or tomorrow, and then, invite them officially, because I've talked to them, but I need to officially, invite them. So that way we want to have a ceremony that on the day of the tournament, honor the veterans, and then the guys talking about having a flag folding ceremony with the Army Recruitment Center. They want to do that.
Yeah, great.
So all of this here is just something that we're doing for the community. It's not, it's not for me, it's for us, because if things go bad, if the tournament fails, I take full responsibility for that. If it succeed, it's every one of us. We all succeed, So that's why I'm appealing to everybody. Let's come on board and try to do that. Whatever help you can give, you can go ahead and do that. Because like even talking about Jamal Harris, the deputy fire chief and the fire chief, I walk in there on my lunch break the same way I was dirty, and. Like everybody I talk to, they always listen to me, give me, because I tell them, hey, just give me 10 minutes of your time or 5 minutes of your time. I'll be brief. I'll get right to the point. And then I get to the point, and then we start coming back to the beginning. Because I don't want to start from the beginning, and then we be like, oh, we're going uphill. I'll start from the point, and then we start coming down. And that way, I've already gained your attention. Then I have you ask more questions and stuff like that. So the fire chief and the assistant chief were very, very helpful. And also I've been working with Captain Schultz with the police department and also Sergeant Shank. So hopefully we can have this thing up and going. We are like 3 weeks away from game day, and it's the first, and we don't know how the turnout will be, because some people are doing wait and see. But well,
you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you might as well jump in with both feet and get it going. So
because even I talked to the guy with the National Guard last week, because on 4th of July the police department had an event in the park, and there was obstacle stuff from the National Guard. I talked to them, and they are going to bring it in so the kids can have fun.
Nice.
That's great. I mean, like anybody who's going to listen to the podcast, if you can help in any way, if you want to provide a bouncing house, you want to do anything, you want to provide hot dogs, you want to provide anything, you are welcome. We are doing it from our heart, from the community. Whatever you can do, you're doing it for those that served. That's why we're doing it.
Yep.
We're not benefiting from it. We're not getting any money. We're not paying anybody. All we're doing is trying to bring the community together so we can have fun in honoring our fallen heroes.
That's
Well,
great.
I mean, in all honesty, the best place to find you is on Facebook, Antoinette's Ice Cream there. There's also a Fallen Heroes Memorial Basketball Tournament page as well.
Yeah, because if you go on Facebook and type in Fallen Hero Memorial Basketball Tournament, there are a bunch of tournaments around the country that will pop out. So the page name is Fallen Hero Memorial Basketball Tournament, Chillicothe, Ohio, 2022.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that gets you right there then.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get the word out the best we can.
Yeah, I was just going to say, hey, Chillicothe, do your thing
That's
now.
right.
I mean, this is a great opportunity for us to send the summer out because really Labor Day is pretty much the end of summer, right?
That's right.
So this is a way to send it out on a high note, honoring our fallen heroes, honoring our day-to-day folks that are out there protecting and serving for us, and then also do a good deed for a guy who's really doing some great things.
Right.
Anthony, we really appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
This
I really
has
do.
been
Thanks
fantastic.
for coming on today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys too because I think when I first started the ice cream truck, you guys gave me the opportunity to introduce the ice cream truck to the community through the Chillicothe Gazette. Yeah, and that was a really great deal too because that how I got introduced to the community and a lot of people came in to support us. So yeah, whatever you guys do, like I said, man, it's every one of us. Any way you possible you can, spread the news. That would be good. Let's try to do that because it's for us all. It's for our community.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again.
Thanks, Anthony. You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
It feels a little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it all